Yamima, my home, a quaver view. Yes, she in Chumedina, Sinamessa saying in I befa, ye hymn books on na ye be alcohol. Hymn N27. N27 say, or brass or che, the war qua. So brass, she did war, recall. He said, she rapid body go nami Shira body go Shiva So should be mama sasini sika can say pisto ashawa Shiva tino sika tu ito usuru akachani usu fieno Kaibu Shiva budi Shiva Shenyo Shiva Ensi wokono yakasi oketo mangu buntu yabisheni naso Shiva pino albofo beshe Achichi wuri kwa kwentu yimu Kaibu Shiva budi Shiva 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 Amen. Amen. My I be seeing Chasina opening Ajimai a bonfire de Jimmy dear anyway be the Ashinamisa.
I did it for Messer Naya Brea Commerce, Naya Bo Empire. Yambo 4 and 4. And also, there was CPU or wood dog, why in ye. And no bambwa, woman no I ever fool away and so. There was say that so it is here. And I will buy any other when you mean. Yes, I say on your boy. Na Brian Bay no, yes, I say, what the Mojano ever tell you. Now your home, I say, switch ma. The Estro Pine say, what they were telling me at the end of the ever saying. Now to me, I say, avatar or him. A doimu, yes, she mo per se 2 trillion pound. What power or qua Mr. Bercon, a cassa, afternoon at the atrayan. Titiu ya de ono edi kan ahye wo twedi ampon wonsa.
Amen.
Fane yesa dobe na kasa na mu fa kire wo ma. Ya de akoma a ahia e wa fiti so nyina ehye wonsa. De yesre won senka asa akoma bia nya te se asase pese ya wo na me wonhira bosu edi kan guso. Na bra wonam wakoa be koso e kasa kire ye no. Yetumi agi wasem edi abobra. Yenu so pese ensi yenkra ene yeni pedua ene sikasem nyina eye ntina enne wapaw wakoa se onkasa nkyerɛ yenim sɛ meeting awie no yebeye enhyira ahye wodin kopene wonyam yɛda wase sɛ woka yɛn ho wɔ Yesu dem nti amen
Nyamema enyumere so yesan my nyina ye ho akwa babio eba Queens District Women Ministries ye program a esiada bia ye di nim sɛ ye baso a ye enhyira na yenim sɛ ye do tax season Inti enyumre nyame eji yempani bi a onim ehunu de pa na opese ochurch enyumre de opese oni eche no say preparing for 2023 tax season. See openi enyumre nyame na no so de church no emaye no openi Mr. Isaac Bekum. Openi Mr. Isaac Bekum. Mese say nyina yibe mute and line no. Na inim say your questions be brave. Mr. Bekum via he bet me ebisa your questions that you won't see Mr. Bekum pacho mijai hasi ema yada sipanya misha.
All right. You better than me as a numeric said. Or my akunya say yen samban and nimna. Ye message on Sikasem elmo adie. Na me pepam chom me person make pictures will be at Tameka.
Me pacho yetonka.
Okay, good. All right. Auntie, and you may the you ever come home seminar? Say you see home for the tax season, you know. I believe that so our first one will be taxes. And they're very important. Say bit man no too. So you may have kind down as much as possible. The kind of I don't me person may come in and say American system is structured in such a way say all your business transaction be what tax implication organization out in the year and they will send a copy of the documentation to the IRS. So men fancy be employed, you know. You at the end of the year and in your W2s from our employers. One thing we need to know is that all our W2s are sent, copies of them are sent to the IRS. So they have a record of all of that. Men fancy be 1099 or your contractor. Copies of those are sent to the IRS by the Oishuma owner. What on stock, like Ubina a statement, they send copies to the IRS. Or mortgage statement, BTC from 1098. The message just all those documents are all tax implications in it, and as all tax impacts in it. Those that have issued them to you send copies to the IRS as well. That is the reason why it's very important. So, obey include all your documentation in filing your taxes, and because the moment obey ignore, you know, and I say obey be a free money. Now, oh yeah, I'm on your hard drain. Now, before I even delve into it, you know, there are consequences when we do not include all our documents in filing our taxes. The FBB statute of limitations, federal government has shared through the IRS. Now that statute of limitations, you know, a casafa main fancy beer. So what file taxes in 2023? Generally, you know, after 3 years, you know, from 2023, which is around 2026, you know, the IRS may not pursue you again. In other words, you know, say na bibia you okay after 3 years, you know, omuni will come some sabi do a chibi say be a BBC anko na BBC anko. But there are instances where they have the right to still pursue you after 3 years. One of them is say one understated your income by about 25% or more. In other words, you know, let's say your income was $100,000. Now W2 could be $25,000, you know. Whether by mistake and I say be a sheda, say tax preparer and new free move because I can't uboka $25,000 or more out of that 100,000. That means that you've understated your income by 25% or more. Sebana the statute of limitations, and it extends from 3 years to 6 years. In other words, you know, so 3 years and then after 3 years, and I do achieve you know, I extended for 6 years because you've understated your income by 25% or more. Now, the third one here, when you purposely decide to evade taxes, So we share that say ABA file taxes and as ABA we no be to evade taxes. The IRS can pursue you up to 1 million years from the tax season. In other words, there's no statute of limitation when you decide to evade tax. They can always come after you. Now, my main we want some quickly. I think they're very important. You will be a fan of tax evasion and a tax avoidance. So because of tax avoidance legal, in other words, because of tax avoidance from tax avoidance and they say I finance one all your taxes. But only membrane based on membrane what to me are your taxes in such a way as a one mocker. And your tax avoidance, you've worked through the laws to avoid taxes. And from so be anyhow. But tax evasion, when you know you have to file taxes and you are purposely trying to evade it by one way or the other. And idea, say a choa, send make us a statute of limitations and unlimited, so they can pursue you anytime. One more thing, so the IRS can normally they have 10 years to pursue the debt from you. Sometimes it be able to normal customer arrangements, be able to me, it will can be mount, be able to mount payment plan. Which of course it will still be attracting interest and all that. But after 10 years, on major or cheating. But so normally 10 years, within the 10 years, not just so now the more can not for years because be on the back house on here na ebiana or yamasho. They are very important. They may can see now say Sierra taxes in one. So this brings in the concept of tax planning, which is very important. And yes, I feel we not work for tax preparer. I say, "Yeah, magic mama, na minti refund." So the shit says a tax season, cocoa season. We always give pressure. Tax preparers, more pressure. This will be ethical standards. Or from an ACB, so we need any good moral standards. And now, so why they own kanama? Ubinya faso. Ubenya refund, but one here actually now both say and I've had instances where people have called me, they have called me talking about and they are very important. The here say over prepare ye for the tax season. No, not affiliate. Say no swan. One my tax preparer no based on engagements or no benyano, come deal no benyano. Who can about so at the abo amount of taxes and I come. So anytime assuming says unim the because we normally advise a proper so benya a CPA and I say be an road agent and I say be a tax lawyer na wow. I hear people Friday na me call post office not me dim post office box humana. The own museum say dear human am so may accountant no so your tax nam say yes may taxes and all busam say the solar panel or not try say or taxes now to solar panel no this year when I say Kobenya credit $11,000 but it's carrying forward to the following year into my dream I'm saying and I would say how to look at your tax situation in its entirety, because sometimes you are based on your income or there are limitations. They may have to carry forward a whole lot of other factors. And I'm saying you really need a CPO to help you, and I can help you in that sense. And I'll say, oh, some good to you $300. I'm we say they make on Ghana new. I'll say some good to you $300. I'm CPA dear. Any senka. Me am try your money, and I'm sure. So on says tax credit here, all kinds of 11,000 when you braces can as a conya this year and pay. If you can see people to one money as 11,000, that's so charge you $500 to Corana. Still, I know one young for sword 10,500. Now, when you are losing the whole 11,000, and it's over to us out to 300 now, oh, can no one just for so the henna now for the was very important. I know people are starting, they were doing their own taxes. But as of income, no cost role, and we other investments, started getting complex, and they reach out to CPS, and I've had people who have reached out to me to help in that sense. And because I want more peace of mind, especially when the person doing a one, they know what they are doing and they are making sure they're not creating any problems for you. And the tax planning idea is very important. Tax planning, and they say throughout the year, over planning for taxes. What I normally say is that if you are undertaking any transaction, I have financial impacts. Normally, the transactions that have financial impacts also have tax impacts. Most of them. ABR, auto stocks, auto fee, auto second home, or stocks we have also company no book and do but auto you be at a loss. And normally you want to venture into real estate. And any kind of business, it's very important for you to consult your CPA. Now, say, badness obey me advice as to the best course of action. And it's our tax planning, in do both tax planning, by the end of the year, only CPA, be in constant touch. And after the what planning for taxes now, the outcome of most of the events I cause during the year are financial impact. And then I also know about it. CPA and magic amount. I say we are tax preparer and magic amount in right. And talking about that, and we jump right into tax season. The tax season is opening in Yambo, China. Dear Ben, also Didi can I am metaka say Oko tax preparer, especially for a CPA, they charge some charge by the hour, and some charge flat fees and all that. It depends on the oil jumano. But they're very important, and they say if your documents are very organized, that they charge you reasonably. But so documents are haphazard, not say, and you're very organized, that they are going to do much more work and they might charge you more. They are very important all the time, over organized documents. And they assuming say or documents, and they say, from all sources, it could be electronic, and I say be paper or electronic document. You need to make sure that during the year, and say electronica, he say receipts fancy be as whole business, and I say be seller individual. You may want to itemize. Maybe some significant medical expenses near all those stuff, and charitable donations or receipts. Say electronic crana so work your picture. Now they are sending email now or download what's able into a folder on your computer. Then you name the folders. Okay, where tax receipts, where you say paper on swap or draw a beer. Now they are kushim. So I finish on another way in organize it. Tax repair or not a cotton name. To know Afrima, so them the way or no who come for their boil. But when they are not organized, it creates so much work. Most of the time, they end up charging you more. They're very, very important. Now, important information, as you say, keep putting out one place, to make proper organization. These include ABR income, any or expenses are cost during the year now. Today, I'm talking about preparation, not about the concept of taxation, but talking about preparation. And most of these documents are very common documents that we all know. Men fans ABR or W2s, sometimes, always my printing online from a company's portal. Sometimes, and I say for the most part, your company mail them to you. They buy not their share baby. They buy not also now they go so. And the W2 from employers are one. They're talking about 1099s. We all know that 1099s could be, from different sources. Sometimes maybe a bit interest be a union or savings be an answer be a certificate of deposit be out or time deposit be out. The bank will send you a 1099 INT, which is for the interest. So then I make all these documents and they send copies to the IRS. More unions So they come around Bokanti, Ukako Yefrim. 1099. There are many different kinds of 1099. And I owe other payers. Sometimes you do something and maybe the institution had to pay you something and all that. And the tenant document be also na all their home. That's the paradigm the obeyano. Your other document be to say 1099 case, our K, very crucial. Why am I saying that? On says say in your third party networks say more cash up on. I have your talks through cash up on. They see at the end of the year and they say your statements through the cash up on. And report or stocks are now on into third party transactions in some of those things come into play. And in other words, in any of the documents we answer can be a tax document 1099 and all that, gather them, your tax preparer knows what to do with them. Your 1099 NEC, which is non-employee compensation. Men fancy be why you're doing be as a contractor now when you're employee. They may give you a 1099 NEC and I say be a 1099 miscellaneous, depending on the type of the contract. You put all of them together. And I think I've already talked about 1099 INT when you are paid interest, as well as records of documents documenting all your digital asset transactions, and cryptos and all those come into play. From 1098, which is very popular with the more mortgage interest, and it's that 1098, so if you're mortgage for the most part, you receive it from your bank or from your lender. Show your interest, your real estate taxes, and other information. But normally, your interest I would to around the year and points I would to property taxes and any time matter. If you have a mortgage insurance premium, sometimes it's also shown on there. Very important. Yes, and those who have dependents on mutuals come here home. It could be your child, IBA, daycare, and I say after school care. It could be a parent, be an be or be aware or depending on you. Utueska, all those documents in you need to gather them together at one place. And here, child independent way, provider receipts. They'll normally give a receipt with their tax IDs on there. Charitable donations are very key. Charitable donations, are very important to say. Sounds like maybe I don't go for people are doing any animal. So people think that or tithes and offerings in corn out to me and they file it. But truly, so called closet and also wardrobe man. There are things that for so many years, maybe I won't find some kind. A bit my empabwa, a bit my entire. It be a nine musicians or musical instruments. It could be anything at all. Because as I heard stores BT say Goodwill and Volunteers of America in those places and they accept those things and they'll sell them as second-hand products. And before the end of the year, and I said before 31st December each year, with my planet, now I could donate this money on the mount receipt indicating those items. Sometimes under the value of the items, so all those things could come together with title of offerings none in bit me as part of your deductions. Sometimes volunteer work it could be medical and I say be non-medical or mileage or the any they are part of such charitable donations, very important. You keep all those documents near the medical expenses, medical expense receipts are very important. Why am I saying this? Because if you want to itemize it, medical expenses and also you can itemize a portion of it, which is very important. If you own a business, whether a small or a large business, it's very important that during the year, keep your records in shape. we normally recommend say employ a consultant and as a beer obi a wafa na adwuma full time or your bookkeeping any work accounting amount. We help some businesses in that regard because a boama books in very good shape at the end of the year. No taxes in the records are very easy to pull. That's will be or undocumented that or coba no yes can escape a bank account to nabos or now not be expenses na almost a unya records to be I've had clients that no more that situation now I shall say and it was challenging for them for taxes for the first time. It is not just I was eating pull on back statements and other stuff now you go through systematically near the business. It was local. So we are kind of the business in a person Afra. If you employ an accountant, they're able to help you streamline things properly. Nice to do taxes or records near clean because I say I asked for in a year. Auditor, you have the supporting documentation, very clean, very organized, and also what present time they're very important to have a schedule of your income and expenses. So you see be a employee so try and keep all your receipts for the expenses, Not even if a basic Excel spreadsheet to so about number document be a vendor receipt number this is the amount. Be the way and our describe typing in at the end of the year the tax preparer can use that. If your budget copies of your receipts to show the documentation of what you have typed in there to help augment the order of taxes. It's very important. If you have a business, it might be growing. Hire an accountant, hire a bookkeeper, hire a consultant that you can pay them to do the job for you. Most of the time, there are people excuse me to say, almost 30 business. People are making millions of dollars in a year, but not more doing say business buying and selling to here accountant. I don't know what they are go for no. It be more because not they didn't really know the bearing of how much they are really making the financial health of their business. It is an be an almost spend be an almost but it was a china was a normal basa and employ someone or consult with someone, pay them, let them do it for you because I don't know goes a long way to pay off. All right. And say business na say be so here say need na and as a way individual na so here any kind of need be especially when your tax situation is a bit complex like that. We encourage you to reach out to us. We've helped people and we're able to help you. Like I believe that maybe at the right time we will put our information on there, but at this point, they're not making say very important. Say once we ensure that our tax records, they are complete and they are very organized before filing now, and my process is very smooth. And say banners are not to say for instance, kind documents be cleaner. It doesn't, they do not delay processing in case you need you are getting a refund. It's not delayed and all that. It might be smooth. It made it might be here. Now, a few questions about as time or permit. Yeah, get the basic say.
Yami Mampacho opening Beku Manwesi. Machomama Yemi and Tumna Yemisay questions I owe.
Show me what question that. It's hello.
Pacho betimi abisa.
Okay, that's it.
Yeah.
Pacho, now we can say you bet me I itemize your health bills. How much of it can we itemize? And what are we showing? The receipts that say you tria and I say and have because I guess that's what I want to know. How much I bet me I itemize it. And what are we showing them? The receipt or the actual bill?
Well, okay, yeah, I think that is a very important question. Say about taxation more. I say actual accounting to show the financial health of a business and customer. You'll be a accrual accounting. I'm not really going into it. But so about taxation, tax operates on a cash basis. So tax accounting is cash accounting. In other words, in taxation, when you have not paid a bill, you don't count it as an expense. Maybe say yes, understanding. So now you only count something as an expense when you have actually paid for it, either by check or cash or by whatever. When you have, lost some resource in obtaining service, when you have paid for it. And yet invoice and as a bill, but a receipt, what you have paid for the most part. Okay, how much can you itemize for medical expenses? Normally, a year or threshold, which are for an asset. 7.5%, the excess of 7.5%, and I said the excess of the expense over 7.5% of your AGI. AGI adjusted gross income. So assuming say your gross income was $100,000, 7.5% is going to be 7.5 of that. Yeah. So like assuming that's going to be about 7,500. Yeah. So when that happens now, that means that the excess of your medical expense over that. So assuming your medical expense was $10,000, the excess of that over $7,500 or $2,500. And this $2,500 now be the account or deductions as medical expense. And the question, that is the answer. In case there's a follow-up, maybe an answer. Yeah.
Pacho, you have more questions, sir.
Me Pacho, me what question?
Pacho betimi abisa.
Me Pacho, myself was an say. Me fan so wo fie. Na utua light bill, utua gas. Sane ma fa let us out me kan ho ana.
Debbie.
All right, thank you.
The attorney said those in your manner are considered personal expenses. It's your no maybe ultimately deducted. If you are on a light bill or gas bill and income, unless say be a run a business in our home office, and then you're able to allocate some of the costs to your home office now. What deducted as part of your business expenses, but other than that, an idea own to me and from my account was a rent fee and as a beer or fee or gas bill and electricity bill. They are all personal expenses.
Pacho, next question betimi aba.
Pacho, the question is with the IRS forecast, now say o file tax BC saying
me pacho o question no emu nshada na ho. Say all the IRS forecast of file tax basis me nshada anti say. But you with me abio o question any kaka.
Penny akwampacho betimi agina baby ye kakra online mu twetwesi.
Okay, well, my can was kaka. For the most part, no. So yes, how the IR4 can say oh follow taxes are. Most of the time, no, when they are able, not as only a refunder on befa when they are able, but say oh, but council manager say canana be and me name what specific year out of this, but normally no. When you owe the IRS as much as they are able, so unya refunder on farmer. There is a situation, and honestly, there are situations where ABA more married couple now, assuming ABA Bemano and the IRS foka, but about the IRS foka. So more valuable monase, so munya refunder. IRS for normally come first cano. But and I'm saying no ban in the IRS for currency or more be a injured spouse allocation. In other words, no, and your ban a decan a beman a decano. And the they will be fair. In what sense? There's a form that they can send you to complete. Say, okay, say unim says on the IRS for complete that form. That form helps them allocate the portion of the refund and I owe there. Na normally usika bro. Na bema no de kano. Ya fa ono no refund no. Until the no.
Pacho you go so aje questions.
If Pacho me saw a question you. Let me make a
Pacho to make us.
me Pacho. Pacho about when I say, and yes, I will no come file taxi album and I said, we have a file the dear. That's
O question we there. We there say only wa kuna ze mo na me bo. Really wa nkasa o.
no, they tell me was as I say, poor house on one file momo. We just can't say, Mummy and file album no. It's a me was as I know.
In design here. Sa nkwa fale na se nkwa benyeska se ne na why ne sa anambo. So say na ejina ne ma bebre so so Mawaria I for almost encourages mobile joint returns for the most part because I establish it, you know, so relationship and they like it that way. And for that reason, you know, if you are married and you file separately, almost penalize or no man can get to be some fancy beer. Education credit, another bit my claim when you are married and you are filing separately. Because the charter's credit say it goes down at some point. Like they penalize you somehow on those stuffs. You know, earned income credit, another bit my claim. You know, there are a lot of benefits. So we are joint, if you are filing joint, let's say or any other filing status like head of household, qualifying widow and as a surviving spouse and as a single as Hannah Malan Cabiniano. Say what warrant as I say file separately, I am more penalize it or more minimize it or more reduce those credits. You know. sometimes or tax brackets like or tax rates in because so you end up losing. But when reasons be to say beer, okay, assuming say beer, mummy or beer like beer or loans, a beer more percent more share. Ebia loans on like also uchuan based on your income. Nasa mo koye joint can be brains ano. Ombe person move to every bray. For that reason, Tibia person mobile separate. So that be like be able presented need separately with on one income na loan na I was move to back na I according to mo income na any be bray no. For some of those reasons, and Ebia move to file separately. That's okay. But say more worried there, and I was a mobile file journal. Munya so many benefits. And one thing I've realized is that people are married, but they don't file joint, but I'm gonna file it individually as head of households. So file as head of household, you need a dependent. In Tibia no much and Kwana Gusano, or some of the Russian son, this not to me refund be Sanango for be. They are not making say. For maybe I'm sure I'm very but if you are some one day I hang day and two, I don't see is the right thing to do. Because to qualify as head of household, you need to be unmarried and that's considered unmarried. So if you're unmarried, some fans say so single, that's all dependent. One or two be a motor and that's so young warrior. You qualify as head of household. That's you pay for more than half of their support and all those other man qualified to be head of household. Now you qualify as head of household, which is really good. But to be head of household, you should be unmarried or considered unmarried. Considered unmarried, and they say if you require more about for 6 months or more during the year, no. Like you do not live at the same place. You lived at separate places during the year for 6 months or more. So, you're able to file as head of household with a dependent on your return. But most people live in the same household, yet they file as head of household. No much and you're right. And yet, by law, and you're right. And I know that that's what a lot of people do now, or more. And yes, but so we are married and filing separately. One they are normally I don't tell you refund because the does in the first place now so you don't end up getting much. But head of house no and they say unima because tax preparer as a saying or their status on the amount. Then you determine whether you would want to continue doing that. Most of the time, they're able to do that. And once you are married, and you're right, but legally, and you're wrong because you are not married on paper. But ethically, it might not be right, but legally, and you're wrong because you are not married on paper. And a whole lot of things, a whole lot of things. Now, may add more information for the Obusa question to ask the tax preparer. Say, their status no demand. Say, married and filing separately. You don't really have to expect more refund because penalize you be most likely head of household, which says sanity there. That's okay, but sanity, find out from a tax preparer and make a decision if you're going to continue with that.
Thank you.
Me the question but be kuna me kasa dana se mama muntem mba na mahase mitimi kasa. Hello,
me kasa.
yeah, mpacho be ko eno kunie me kasa from UK. Siana me join me information me join na ma we say me brother check tax returns but say UK and US difference with taxing. Yes, I can say question you to but ABA na question we say na because UK laws need different from US laws. But the make us be come about some in fact work when him the ministry na course work when your platform so na me hu ye say no be show be say they see the best things na me buy and buy no wapo and sentiment details about it but the make anyans go po nshira No cause cool with him. Don't want to say.
Amen. Hey, you know, I'm a classmate. I was secondary school so many years ago. And okay, you know, all right, good to hear from you.
Hello, Mbachamoto.
Mpacha also.
Mbachamoto, maybe it's a question.
Mpacha.
Mbachamoto question is besides maybe I feel be a cocoa play Jumana, maybe I walk or plans, I obey your orientation, and sometimes orientation or much. Let's say be a 1 year Juma that I feel now. But your mother, do you have to file it? And thank you.
Yeah. You man why somebody or W2 also the count. The person chance any document be a it has document, you know. Come out as preparer na yeah fan count. And they're very simple. Say $2 or say $3 or say orientation, you man okay intending na account be.
That's it.
Me pacho, my question is eba ne say na bia wo fa letters federal na wenye ska na bia state wa boka na wo say ukutua ska.
Yeah, federal ne laws are different from state laws. State bia one laws. And the states normally they pick off of the adjusted gross income from the federal normal adjustment. And some states may allow some credits that some states may not allow. In the original state also. In the state in the federal and yepe obiana nemra. Some states may give some extra exemptions that the federal is not going to give. So there are differences in the BA Timbanasana. But just what I say.
Anne, me that's it.
All right.
Actually, I will bear 5 minutes. Be was in the city and partially team.
Me pacho, me question is say, ye mama mo ba retirement no mo ewofie no. At the end of the year no, how is their taxes done?
Some ewofie, some just Social Security normally some just Social Security. I don't know the year no. Social Security for send your statement. So just go and give that statement to your tax preparer. They'll figure it out.
Me pacho, me di we can Mr. questions no hono. All say bia wo maame e bia waba onye adwuma. But ne social security number. And I mean fan say wo fie. E no eba ne sa na wo ye ne den wo betimi de na fale ana say
Yes, as a dependent. So now we're here they depend on you, yeah, to it now file as a dependent. Yeah. Okay. I'm saying may GDC be at the BCR. There are no more questions. But so question Biana obey to me after appropriately you go to our website and book a consultation. So open up to my friend, then we just talk on the phone. My family phone number to you. I would have loved to share my card here, but I'm not sure if people are going to access it easily. But let me put my phone number on there. 614-477-2761. 614-477-2761. Mr. Also, make sure that you know what you're going to be talking about because I am telling you na Yonko no naposo. Now, if there's a help that you need that we're able to help, I will be more than happy to help. So person will send the email so info at berkelcpa.org. info@berkelcpa.org. I think they be under my type what to chat box, you know. All right. Enti medemano. Every say I say not my chairman coordinators, you know.
You, Mr. Beko, Yami Shroud degree, and you may addition or the amay no a addition, and we are paying na a wine paying Yami only shroud. Yami Maya, Diana, who so say you may so yes, we are bad. Na addition see yenya chefa a woman. Okoye chats ni more, Mr. Beko ede the number any ne email address at home timpacho betimi atre at home here now a friend or said ye okay you know yeah asida MCB radio saying you so will streaming ye programming echo YouTube sounds so na yeah asida my Yonkodoradio so saying you may program come and say or do you call YouTube am I the best saying is still be me ama me amanako CB radio Ghana and I say Yonkodoradio ewo YouTube na wako akoshe nyame ya adom next week so 5 to 6 yebi share ewo Zoom line we are so ti nyame nhira nyina na on kan ho nimwe ya nhira oboso nhira nsa Mr. Belkon so nyame nhira bebre yeda wase ene onre no wadaje nyame nhira nti ye pon program ye be so Mr. Belkon say obebo mpaye na afi odi nyina ahye nyankopon sa amai.
Okay, me mom pay. Already that was sister or my akonya na yasa bedroom juna yin sikasemu yedem say no so here osura kontuno. Yeah, sure say boy. Now the here ultimately ne say boy need to make job on here. Na odo nkonkona share mana bibia ya adwen to mesi so. It must semro na se de bia ompaye ene wase mtuam. It must twa ben we. Na ba nya dum wonim. Obright it me wa wofo hwi na so. Kosi se ubremu no ye besan share bio or the boys Christ demonti. Amen.
Amen. Me pasha ya mayi nyina ye home mespa. Say the entity we Yehovah and share most. Amen.
Amen.